Shalom, shalom for episode 6 with the Bible study, dude. It's about time. Are you ready? This episode's going to open up in a pawn shop. If you don't catch it, there's a brief caption that tells you where you are. It is a pawn shop. We're going to see Matthew and Gaius guarding the collection of fish and the back taxes that Simon and Andrew collect. It's going to be an interesting little discussion between them. We're going to see some friction start to form between Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Nicodemus. The story that Matthew presents to Quintus. He doesn't buy it. We're going to get introduced to a key long-term character. Now, she is fictional, not from the Bible, but she is going to stick around for our journey. Her name is Tamar. She is witness to a miracle. This miracle you can find in Matthew 8, verses 1 through 4, Mark chapter 1, verses 40 through 45, and also in Luke 5, verses 12 through 16. Salome, the mother of James and John, is going to meet Jesus, and then Jesus is going to start preaching to a crowd from their house. You can find this event in Matthew 9, verses 1 through 8, Mark 2, verse 1 through 12, and in Luke 5, verse 17 through 26. Nicodemus is going to try to come to a compromise with Shmuel and try to see if they can ease some of that tension that's starting to form. Later on, you're going to see Rabbi Yusuf. He's going to come and let Nicodemus know about a rogue preacher in the town square. Guess who that rogue preacher is? And then Tamar, who we are going to meet, is going to bring a friend of hers to try to meet Jesus. This story can be found in Matthew 9, verse 1 through 8, Mark 2, verse 1 through 12, and in Luke 5, 17 through 26. I know I repeated those Bible verses, but you're going to see the two things will tie together. That's all I got in my pre-show notes and the things I want you to watch for in this episode. I'm going to continue on with Nerd Notes in a minute, but once again, as always, if you have not downloaded the Chosen app, please go do so. It is free, absolutely free. Every episode is free. All you need to do is sign up with your email. If you have a subscription to Prime Video, all 5 seasons that are currently available, all episodes are available on Prime Video as well. So please, pick your poison, choose your option, go watch The Chosen. I'll be right back with Nerd Notes. So I hope you enjoyed episode 6. These are some of my Nerd Notes. Hopefully we'll fill in some background information for you. The condition of leprosy. It is a chronic bacterial infection that primarily affects the skin, the nerves, eyes, and lining of your nose. Symptoms develop very slowly, often taking years or even decades to appear after exposure. Skin-related symptoms are discolored skin patches, loss of sensation, skin lesions, hair loss, and sores. Nerve-related symptoms are numbness, tingling, enlarged nerves, muscle weakness or paralysis, and some eye problems. Symptoms affecting the nose include congestion, stuffiness, and nose disfigurement. Without early diagnosis and treatment, the nerve damage from leprosy can become permanent and lead to long-term disabilities. Potential complications of untreated leprosy will include progressive nerve damage, loss of sensation, permanent paralysis, crippling hands and feet, tissue loss which can cause the reabsorption and shortening of fingers and toes, blindness, and chronic non-healing ulcers on the bottom of your feet. Leprosy is not as contagious as many people believe, and most people have a natural immunity to the bacteria that causes it. Transmission from person to person generally requires prolonged, close, and repeated contact with an individual who has untreated leprosy. Transmission may also occur through contact with the nasal secretions of an infected person. The most widely accepted theory is that leprosy spreads through respiratory droplets, like when you sneeze. I don't know about you, but I don't want to ever get leprosy or have leprosy. Next will be the term Hades and Styx. Hades is an underworld, a dark and gloomy place between the earth where the souls of the dead reside, and Styx, not the band, is the most prominent river in the underworld, serving as the main boundary separating the world from the living and the realm of the dead. The word Styx literally means shuddering or hate in Greek, expressing the dread associated with death and the underworld. Little James made a reference to the 288. That's up next. The 288 refers to the number of skilled musicians serving in the temple during the time of King David. These musicians played a vital role in temple worship by providing sacred music and song. The Bible text emphasizes their skills and training, highlighting the importance of excellence and the worship of God. The number 12 frequently symbolizes completeness or divine order in the Bible. Since 288 is a multiple of 12, some interpret it as representing a complete and integral part of the temple's worship life. The massacre of the innocents that was referenced. This event is where King Herod the Great orders the execution of all male children in Bethlehem who are 2 years old or younger. The story is a key part of the nativity narrative in Matthew's Gospel and has significant theological and historical implications. The Bible event is recorded in Matthew 2, verses 16 through 18, and many view Matthew's account as a fulfillment of Old Testament prophecy and a parallel to the story of Moses. In the story of Moses, Pharaoh orders the killing of male Hebrew infants, a fate that Moses was spared from. This parallel could serve to reinforce Jesus' identity as a new Moses. Historical evidence is a topic of debate among scholars, and outside of Matthew's account, there is no contemporary historical record confirming the event. Doubters point out that this event is not mentioned by Josephus, who has chronicled many of Herod's other acts of cruelty, including the murder of his own wife and sons. Supporters argue that the massacre is consistent with Herod's known paranoia and brutality, especially in his final years. They also point out that Bethlehem was a small town, meaning the number of male children under 2 years old would have likely been small, making it a potentially unremarkable event from a Roman perspective, even though it may have still happened. So that's all I have for you in Nerd Notes. The next video will be our biblical discussion and our Bible reference points, where we can find parts of this episode in the Bible. So I hope to see you then. Hope you've enjoyed this part. Please give me a like and follow if you enjoy this content. And please, if there's anything that I covered that you have a question about, or anything that I may have skipped over that you have a question about, please leave me a comment. I would love to have a discussion with you sometime. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.